Mm.
Well, let us start. I want to greet our panel speakers, uh, Mandar Apte and Ahmad Fadaye. I will just start from the India and the short introduction. We move from one country to another. We, in the previous panel session, we have been in Syria, we have been in Iraq, we have been in Palestine and Lebanon. Now from these Middle East countries, we are moving to Asia. Our next speaker is Mandar Abdel, who leads Cities for Peace, peace building initiatives of the Art of Living Foundation. With nearly 20 years of experience at Shell managing social innovation, he later produced and directed the documentary From India with Love, showcasing India's wisdom and traditions as a source of peace. For over 2 decades, Mandarapte has also taught leadership programs grounded in mediation through the International Association for Human Values, the Art of Living Foundation. Please, all our participants through YouTube or in Zoom meeting, join me in welcoming Mr. Mandar. The stage is yours, dear.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Wonderful. And it's so nice to be part of a group of people that are not just theory, but actually putting in action what the world needs today is more harmony, more compassion, more peace, more love, and a sense of, agreeing to disagree and not losing our civil human kind nature. So I will begin this presentation by saying that my personal conviction is that if the whole world is a home, India has always been the prayer room where people have come here for millenniums, for reflection, for inner transformation. And I have lived in India 25 years and I've lived in America 25 years. So I'm speaking out of my experience working in corporate sector for about 20 years at Shell. And in 2001, while I was on an assignment in Niger Delta in Nigeria, I went through a mob attack. We were attacked by a village and swords and guns and sticks and stones, and we barely escaped. So that was my first, you can say, encounter with something violent and extremism. And when I came back to Houston, where I used to live, I realized that these traumatic experiences don't just go away by going to the pub, going for a movie, just reading a book. And so that is when I was introduced to a workshop called the Art of Living Happiness Workshop. And I got curious. I was looking for inner peace, but maybe in the wrong places. Because true peace is when your heart is contented and your mind is peaceful. And so that is a little bit about my background. And I not only benefited from these techniques, but I felt like the world needs to meditate. And I wish I had learned how to meditate long time ago. So I started taking my steps to becoming a teacher. And I've been teaching meditation practice since 2004. I have trained thousands of people in 5 continents, including 2,000 colleagues at Shell worldwide. hundreds of American army veterans coming back from the Iraq-Afghanistan war, uh, and thousands of gang members and people who have been traumatized in the inner cities of America. And so I'm going to share a video of that work, my first workshop in the Cities for Peace thinking, that if you look at the neighborhood of South Central Los Angeles, one murder happens there almost every day, every other day. And Los Angeles is known for the beaches, Hollywood, but there is also a dark side. And then if you look at the money spent by the city for one murder, as an engineer, we calculated like, okay, how much money is spent? And that number shocked me. The city of Los Angeles spends about $8 million for one murder. And that consists of many direct things like police officer time to investigate, putting the person in jail, there is a trial, there is a sentence. But there are also indirect costs. You need more police in this particular neighborhood, they need more cars, dash cams, walkie talkies, right? So these are indirect costs, and it adds up to about $8 million per murder. So that is the basis of the consultancy that I started, that if violence has a business model, right? When you sell drugs on school campuses, somebody makes money. When trafficking of girls happens, somebody makes money. These unreasonable wars that are going on, somebody is making money. Can we look at the business case of peace, of compassion, of happiness? So I'm going to play now one video. This video, the background of that case study is in this neighborhood of South Central Los Angeles. There are many gangs. Almost every neighborhood, there is a gang. They are called Crips and Bloods. If some of you have studied LA gangs, they are very notorious in the 60s and 70s and traumatized communities, etc. So my thought was, can I bring opposite gang members and the Los Angeles police officers and the victims, the residents of such a neighborhood, in one workshop as a boot camp, because they are all in the same neighborhood. They are looking for the same thing, which is peace, but they don't come and talk to each other. So, can my meditation training become a place where these stakeholders come, heal themselves, and then the transformation happens? Because unless the healing happens, sitting and talking about peace or any other subject for me has no depth. Because if the heart is still pained, you are still going to look at what happened and retaliation, and that can be removed by healing from our trauma. And everybody else has trauma. As long as we don't say my trauma is more than your trauma, Christine, right? As long as we acknowledge that my trauma is $5, yours may be $50, somebody else may be $500, but trauma is trauma, and we need to put that time to heal from my own trauma. So what we teach in our workshops is a very simple science that is universal, that every negative emotion in your mind, for example, anger, sadness, frustration, jealousy, blame, guilt, it has a corresponding breathing pattern, right? So for example, somebody makes you angry, immediately somebody makes you sad. So these are the rhythms of the breath. And can we now use this logic to train people in how to use their breath to delete their unwanted emotions? And once that trauma is relieved, at the end of 5 or 6 weeks of practicing these exercises, we asked these gang members, would you like to be a teacher now? Because if you can become a teacher, a meditation teacher, you can influence so many people in your community. So the question I asked them is, have you sold drugs? And obviously everybody will raise their hand in such neighborhoods. So I said, that means you know how to sell. can you help me sell peace? And that is how I got them on board. Yeah. So I'm going to play this video, just the context of the video. This is their graduation ceremony. These are people coming together at the end of the graduation of 6 weeks. And I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully the volume will come across. Do you see my screen, Christine?
Yes.
Perfect. And can you give me a thumbs up if the volume comes through?
All is fine.
You hear the sound?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I'm an ex-gang member, so I was bred into violence. It was terrible around here, you know, because that's what we live for, violence.
We just knew violence. When someone did something wrong to me, my reaction was to do something violent.
In collaboration with the Los Angeles Police Department and the Mayor's Office for Gang Reduction and Youth Development, the Cities for Peace initiative of the Art of Living Foundation and the International Association for Human Values facilitated the Nonviolence Ambassador Certification Program for the Harvard Park neighborhood in South Los Angeles that had experienced high rates of violence in the past. We invited LAPD police officers, community members, and former gang members who work as community intervention activists to participate in the program.
It's like the weight is being lifted off your back when you come from this experience. We carry a heavy load when we do community intervention work, and this lightens that load 100%.
Now my reaction is to forgive and say, you know what, maybe I can help him. Maybe that person is just having a bad day.
The program empowered these participants with profound breathing and meditation techniques to reduce stress, heal from trauma, and improve resilience.
We have learned that if we have peace within, we can definitely help others to get to the same place that we're in, which is peace without. And that is the extension of us, our communities, our homes, our facilities, our organizations.
Through interactive discussions and group processes, the program helped build strong bonds between LAPD officers and community members.
But one of the most important factors that I found is the interaction that I have with the residents and residents that live in this community that are experiencing the day-to-day violence that occurs here was one of the most phenomenal and life-changing experiences for me, because they saw firsthand that we're human. Taking this uniform off, we face similar challenges.
Participants were trained to facilitate an introductory module on nonviolence so that they can share the benefits of the program and become ambassadors of nonviolence in their communities and neighborhoods.
I'm a role model whether I want to be or not. So I got people following me down the negative path. So let me make that change and be that positive influence and provide tools for myself, because I can't change nobody else. So that's why I chose to do the Nonviolence Ambassador Training Program.
Today, the 40 graduates, the people that went through the 8 weeks, I'm watching you guys today interact. I have gang interventionists talking to officers, talking to people from the community, and it's working. Right?
Are y'all ready to do some breathing? Anybody ready to do some breathing? Let's do this, man. This is what we learn.
As you can see, these people are now trained to lead such exercises.
This is really amazing.
I just want to let you know I came up here to support you. To me, you're my brother, bro. We walk this path together, side by side.
So then I went with the candle and I said, I'm from India. I have brought some light. Will you like to spread it?
Because we did it here, I think we can do it anywhere.
Okay, great. Do I have a few more minutes? How long do I have?
No, you have minutes. Yes, you have minutes.
Okay, I'm going to share I'm going to share some framework so that people who are watching this can also appreciate that this is a universal framework. So this is the framework that we use in the program, that, you know, when you say, my name is Christine and my name is Mandar and my name is Ahmed, what are you actually saying? You're actually saying that I consists of 7 levels that combine, that come together. And my body is just the gross layer, the layer that you can touch and feel. But the other layers of my existence, I cannot touch. I can only feel them. For example, I am breathing right now, the same breath. You are also breathing. We are connected. I have a mind, but I can't show you my mind, but I can feel it, that yes, it has thoughts, it has emotions, it has feelings. Very rarely it is in the present moment. Very rarely it is in the present moment. Then I have something called intellect. I'm speaking to you now. Something in you is agreeing with what I'm saying, and you are saying, yes, 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 he's right. And some of you may say, no, 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 he's wrong. In another book, I read 9 levels, he's wrong. So our intellect either agrees or disagrees. And that is where we choose certain actions. We choose our friends, we choose our behaviors. Sharper the intellect, the better the choices we have. The next layer is our memory. And this is a very funny layer. The nature of our memory is that it hangs on to the negative incidences more than it hangs on to the positive incidences. For example, I'm sure you have had some friends in your life where you have had a lot of good times, parties, birthday parties, movies, celebration, visit to the mall, shopping. But something happened and now you don't talk to each other, right? If you have had this life experience that you were close to someone and now you are no more close, if you analyze this, it is because your memory or that person's memory chooses to latch on to 1 or 2 not so good things. And we forget the 100 good things we did together. Trauma is one such negative thing, that the memory latches on to the trauma and it makes you feel that it is happening now. And that is why it's called post-trauma stress, right? It has happened before, but your memory thinks it is happening now. And then what happens? Your body gets confused. Your heartbeat starts breathing faster. Your mind thinks it is back 20 years ago when that incident happened. So this is the most important thing that I learned 20 years ago is my memory. I need to work on removing the negative impressions from my memory. The next is my ego, right? The faculty that feels I'm special. And actually, there is nothing wrong about that. We all need to feel we are special. But the ego says, I am so smart, other people are idiots. Or the ego says, I am no good, other people are better than me. This is our ego. Self-esteem is part of ego. So we need ego. But we don't need to put it as a neon light, I am so good, other people are idiots. I am no good, other people are better. That's our ego. And finally, at the bottom layer, the self, which is the witness. For example, let's say you are standing by the road and cars are moving on the road. The only way you can say that, yes, I see movement on the road is because you are not moving with the same speed as the car. That stationary aspect of you is the only way you can say, yes, I see movement. This is Einstein Relativity 101. The basis of physics is to detect any change. You need a reference point that says, yes, I see the change. If 2 objects are moving at the same speed, there is no relative motion. So you will feel that there is no movement. So if this is clear, then I'll ask you a simple question. Have you observed your body has changed over the years? The answer is yes. Have you observed your thoughts change? Of course. Have you observed your feelings emotions change. Of course, this means there is something in you that is not changing and it is observing the thoughts. And yes, thoughts are changing, emotions are changing, feelings are changing. That stationary aspect of our existence, you can call it self. And that journey to go inward is meditation practice. And the link is the breath. The link between the body and the mind is our breath. And why is the breath important? Because if we don't manage our inner world of the mind, intellect, memory, and ego, our life becomes stressed. Either our mind is stressed, we have anxiety, fear, tension. Our intellect may be stressed, we are judgmental, like all these politicians these days, biased, they have inhibitions. Or post trauma stress, memory, we remember failure. Or the ego, we say, I know it all, other people are idiots. So, this is a personal journey, and that is what meditation practice, breathing exercises, as you see, help. If gangsters from LA can do it, anybody can do it. So if this presentation helps you, just reach out. Everything we can do online. And today in the world, you can say, absolutely, I don't think there is any person that can say, I don't need this. I am stress free. It's, it's not reality, it's distorted reality. In fact, violence happens because trauma is left unhealed. So if you want to promote peace, easiest way is to help people release their trauma and find that inside me is the same human being, the officer, the gangster, the mother, as you saw. We have done this work in multiple parts of the world. The website has all these details. I am really grateful to Christine for pulling this group together of practitioners, people who are not just talking about peace, but implementing certain solutions. And we are all inspiring each other. So I'm really happy to be part of this gathering. Thank you, Christine.
Namaste, my dear, dear, dear friend. Again, I can consider you as my friend because we have a same. No? Okay, we will think about it. So
the reason is you cannot consider, you have to know it.
So
There's
it
no,
was
there's
just
no
a
consideration.
gentle, it was just gentle, intelligent the way to say yes, So
Yeah. It's like, Christine, the left hand doesn't get jealous because you lift water with your right hand. The
okay.
left hand doesn't say, hey, can you consider me as part of you, right? So that's what I meant. We are all connected.
I will just ask you to stay with us because we
Of course.
will have now really inspiring story. We're moving to another panelist speaker, and our ambassador of Europe, Andrew, will support our panelist, Ahmad Fadai. He have a true story from Afghanistan, and he is not witness, he is a author, he just actor of this story. And the director is Andrew, so they will share this story together. This panel actually is action. What I really like it that we will share the practice. Enough is enough of too much speaking and too much theorists. So we are moving to reality. Let's go. And I want to introduce our second panelist. We moved from India to Afghanistan. Actually, he's living now currently in Canada, but he represents his country and he loves his country. Our next speaker is Ahmad Fadaye, a tireless advocate for the right of women and youth in Afghanistan. He is the founder of the Afghanistan Young Generation Development Organization, which has worked to advance educational rights for women and young people. Ahmad also served as a coordinator with the Jesuit Refugee Service, providing displaced communities with free education in psychology and English, computer skills, and the core school studies. Over the year, he has delivered numerous public speeches to raise awareness and to promote enlightenment among the Afghanistan uneducated communities. Please join me in welcoming Ahmad Fadej. The stage is yours. Please, Andrew, help Ahmad to share this story.
Okay, I'll just share this presentation.
I just added you, Ahmad, on LinkedIn. You have lived in India.
Hello. Yes, I lived in Maharashtra for some years.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Christian, and thank you, Mr. Brown, for set up the presentation. I'm Ahmad. I'm from Afghanistan. As Christian introduced me, I was working in as a project coordinator in JZ Refugee Service, and also I found and worked in AYGDO, Afghanistan Young Generation Development Organization, for several years in Afghanistan. Today, I am here to share my story, my long journey from Afghanistan, fleeing from Afghanistan to Pakistan, and from Pakistan to Canada. My story started, if you can change that. My story started in 2021 when the international troops left Afghanistan and the Taliban, which is an extremist Islamic group, took power. The Taliban pulled back Afghanistan to the dark ages, to the stone century, where the women cannot have job, where the women and girls cannot go to universities, cannot go to schools. I am sure even you may not remember the time that women could not go to university, could not go to school in your countries. In 2021, when the Taliban took power, people were creepy. All people were scared of Taliban because they came from mountain, as you see in the picture. Among all of the communities and ethnic groups, the indigenous people of Afghanistan, which is Hazara community or Hazara people in Afghanistan, they were frightened and they were scared. It had a reason. The reason was that nearly 5,000 Hazara people, women, children, seniors, have been killed from 1996 to 2000 at the first period of Taliban when they took power. So they were scared because they thought 1996 Taliban took power again. The killing, genocide, and taking the land of Hazara people are not associated only with the time of Taliban. According to the history, according to the documentary, from 1888 to 1893, more than 63% of Hazara population have been murdered, killed, and have been sold as slaves in the period of King Abdul Rahman Khan. Hazara genocide and Hazara persecution started in 1888, and unfortunately, it's going on until now. In 2021, like many other Hazara people, my life was in danger. The Taliban had enough reasons to kill me, to execute, because I worked in a Christian organization in Jezid Refugee Service. So they told to my family, they chased me and they did not find, they told to my family that your son was a Christian missionary. Your son was spreading the West culture in Afghanistan. Beside of my working background, I was active in social media and I was posting and criticizing the bad action of Taliban. They followed me and they came to my house to arrest me. Then I fled from my house and I went to another town. In that time, I was lucky that somebody from another part of the world extended his hand to take my hand, to take my family's hand. He was Mr. Brown, Mr. Andrew Brown, the Chief Security Officer of Jezid Refugee Service. He coordinated with somebody from a Christian organization in Pakistan to find a smuggler for me, to move me from Pakistan, from Afghanistan to Pakistan. He was Mr. John from a Christian organization from Pakistan. He found a smuggler for me and for my family. Then it arrived the time that we said bye to our family, to our friends, and we moved to Afghanistan and Pakistan border. I meet the smuggler in the border. The smuggler made fake IDs for us, for my family members, and also brought some changes, some outward changes to us. We changed our wearing and we start moving. At the first attempt in the border, I lost my wife and my older daughter. My older daughter was 5-year-old that time. I had a serious panic attack there. There was no signal to phone my wife and to know where they are. My 8-month daughter and myself were searching. My 8-month daughter was crying without any break, and I was searching. After a long search, I could find my wife and my daughter. They were crying, they were screaming in a corner in the border. I found them, I hugged them deeply. We were very happy to find each other in the border. I was surprised that I did not lose my wife forever. After many attempts, I crossed the border. We crossed the border and we moved to Quetta city of Pakistan. This picture is from the way that we moved from border to Quetta city. In Pakistan, when we arrived, we were lucky that we had GRS, Jezid Refugee Service, were supporting us financially. We did not have worriness about food, about paying our rent. We did not live in the shortage of food, but we lived with fear of deportation, with fear of persecution from Pakistan police, because we did not have any document, we did not have any visa. We were hidden in our houses for a long time, for almost 2 years. With the financial support of GZ Refugee Service and also support of UNICEF, after a long wait, finally, our flight has been scheduled to Canada in January 2021. On January 2024, we finished 2021, and in January 2024, our flight has been scheduled to Canada. In 18 January 2024, we arrived in Saskatchewan, Canada. There is a picture from Saskatchewan. You can see the snow. Saskatchewan was very cold. The day we arrived in Saskatchewan, it was -35. But the people were saying, we are happy that we have -35. We experienced -50, -55. We could not stand more than 5 minutes in a bus stop. If we stood, we froze. After getting home in Saskatchewan, I started to search work. I started to settle in Canadian society. I started to obtain my driving license. After several months, I got my driving license and I started working in a plumbing company. I was very happy because for new immigrants and new refugees, getting and obtaining driving license and getting a first job is something like a goal. In the compare with new refugees and new immigrants, I was very fast, but I did not know about new challenges. Suddenly, I have been taken to the hospital by my family, by my wife, and hospitalized for several weeks. The doctors and psychologists diagnosed me with bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder that rooted trauma, rooted from past violence that I went through. If you don't know about bipolar is a mental state that have two modes. Sometimes you are active, energetic, and social, and sometimes in the reverse mode, you are depressed, unhappy, and disliked and isolated. But gratefully, with the medication, the mood is stable and the mood doesn't change. So after 2 weeks, I got out of hospital and I went back to work. After several months, we decided to move from Saskatchewan to British Columbia. So because of VDER, we moved from Saskatchewan to British Columbia in February 2025. British Columbia is totally different from Saskatchewan. The weather is great, and in the license plates of cars are written beautiful British Columbia. So it's really beautiful, a good nature. So my wife finally started her English class in British Columbia. She was in the wait list in Saskatchewan. And my older daughter is in grade 3. She is happy to make new friends in British Columbia, in our city. And also my another younger daughter that when I was crossing the border, she was 8 months, and now She is 3-year-old and she is in daycare. And we are trying to settle and integrate to Canadian society. This was my story, my struggles from war and insecurity to a peaceful place. At the end of my story, I invite you to study about Hazara genocide, about Hazara persecution in Afghanistan. Acknowledgement and recognition of Hazara genocide and Hazara persecution would be dressing for the wound of remainder of these people and prevent from consistent persecution. And also, at the end of my story, I am thankful to Mr. Andrew Brown, the Chief Security Officer of JZ Refugee Service, who is present here, that our long journey from a step to death to a safe place was impossible without helping of him. He helped me in Afghanistan and in Pakistan, and even in Canada, he helped me and he stood beside of me when I was manic, when I was in hospital. The picture is from Pakistan. When we arrived in Pakistan, my daughter was holding the painted picture of Andrew Brown in Pakistan, the day we arrived. Because we were happy that at least we are safe in Pakistan. And also I am thankful to Mr. John. He is Mr. John. The day we left Quetta to Islamabad to come to Canada, he was supporting us through GRS funding, Mr. John Roderick. And also, at the end, I want to express my deepest gratitude to Director of IAMPE, Christine, and her hardworking team to create such a nice environment that I could tell my story freely and without fear. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. And I think I would like to thank Andrew. You know, it's not easy to see my tears. I'm strong woman. I'm really strong woman. But when it's coming, when he started to say, I lost my wife, I lost my family, I remember the genocide of my family. Each of us, we have a trauma. We have some secrets. Okay, we can show that we are strong. We carry and this heavy cross, and we are, you know, we are like a warriors. We are powerful, like, you know, the superwomen. But we forget that we are a human being. That we have a heart. We have feelings. That somebody can hurt us, even though we try to show that we are cool and strong. Andrew, you are the great man. That's why you carry this ring of the peace ambassador over. This is not just for now. You need this kind of person like you. Not you share more than get. Is how is actually is working in our life. When you are too kind, you more give rather than you get, and you try to help everybody around you. This is how we call a peacemaker. You are a peacemaker. You're trying to handle. You're trying to at least not just you know, to help all country, but someone you might, you know, it's everything is ability. And Ahmad, I have one question. I know it's not easy to say. Yesterday, I shared with Professor Kansa this one. You attended, I think, and I asked about the the video my friend journalist sent me yesterday about the story and situation in Afghanistan and Pakistan with the women and the girls and boys, not only girls, that they are getting married 6 years, 7 years, they are going to the free market, like they call free market, they're selling for food their children. Is this true? Until now, I couldn't sleep. Maybe I slept 4 o'clock in the morning because all the time it was coming to my mind. I was just 7 years old pregnant, could not be, but 10 years old, maybe 9 years old girl pregnant, and her husband is 60 years old. What's going on? What's going on with this planet?
Thank you, Christian, and also thank you for your words to Mr. Brown. I really agree with you. He is a great man. Yes, this is true. I saw many 50-year-old men married with 10-year-old, 15-year-old, 13-year-old. I have a single sister, which because she cannot go to school and the school banned, the university's banned, and she is now in the force of marriage without her consent in my family. And also that's the video that you saw is totally true, and I saw in my eyes. Now the situation in Afghanistan for the women are like a hell for women. Women cannot have a job, cannot go to schools, and women, the only thing that women can do, can marry someone to feed them, to feed women, cannot do anything. And some of them flee from country, but the 99% of women don't have any option, just marry somebody to feed them. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, the one question, because as I understood in Quran and in Afghanistan, as for Muslims, in Quran, it's not written that you have to get married 6, 7, or 5 years old girl or the child, and you are 50, 60 years old, because it's haram, as I understood. It's not correct. It's a crime.
Yeah, in international law it is crime, but not in an Islamic law. It's not crime in Islamic law. The Prophet of, I don't want to judge, but the Prophet of Islam married the 8-year-old child. So in Islamic rules and Sharia are not illegal, but in international law it is illegal.
Okay, I asked Imam. I have a question with the Imam. I asked him if it's true what's going on in Pakistan and Afghanistan is the same. It's not a crime. He says yes, it's not a crime. It's not correct Islamic law. This is the words from Imam. He says this is not correct Islamic law. And the Prophet Muhammad, he married to 8 years child girl in order to protect her, but not touch her. But okay, well, here can be misunderstanding or something, but what's going on now is not about the religion now. We will speak about the laws, the civil laws, which is not correct. So you might tell me that in Afghanistan, Pakistan, this kind of the countries exist only one Islamic law, no other laws are working.
Yeah, totally true. In Afghanistan nowadays, I don't know much about Pakistan, but in Afghanistan nowadays, it is totally an Islamic law that you can marry a 9-year-old and 10-year-old and 13-year-old girls. So it is the sunnah. It is the manner of prophet. So the manner of prophet from the past. It is not illegal. So it's culturally okay. It's culturally okay, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. And I do believe your girls, let's God give them the long time health, and to your wife, they will not face, and because of the injuries, they will not face this Islamic law, and they will study, and they will grow up, and they will get married by love, and they find the right person when they will understand that they are ready to get married. Because it's true responsibility. The women have to be ready to get married, as I understood. And as a father, you know that.
Yes, you're right. I agree with you. Every second we say thanks. Every second of our life we are grateful. And I am grateful not for myself, for my life. I am grateful for my children. I have 2 daughters, not son. So my 2 daughters can go to school, can go to university, and can choose their religion, whatever they want. So that's that I am thankful and grateful every second.
This is correct, and I think God will protect you. And I don't know how. I will tell you truth exactly what I heard, because we do have all background. We have a history, the long story of our ancestors, and I migrated as well myself 5 countries. I understand the Andrew know my story as well, and I will say to you that the best thing we can do to protect our families, our children, our generation, not give them. This is not a piece of meat that you give the bird and you will just sell them because you need a piece of bread or food or whatever you want. You have to protect how you can. And I want to wish your family long life, and under the grace of the God, and having a good friends around, and we will help you with education, with everything as we promised. And the Andrew is here, and you will meet more people now here in the conference. That's why we invited you, because everybody have to hear your story and your example for a lot of the families now. A lot of the families, you are example to show, hey man, look, he's so strong, he escaped of this danger. It's not easy. Just even walk is not easy, because it could be shooted, or we see your life, and we see you strong, and you, even though you follow your rules, but you understand. You're reading book, you have a book or Bible, Quran, whatever, but you are not reading upside down. You reading straight, because most of the people, as an educator, I know as a trainer, most of my students, they read, but they don't read. They read what they want. Actually, maybe they understand how they want to understand. It's not that it's written in the book. So you are blessed because you understand exactly what is good and what is bad.
Thank you so much. You're right.
I'm inspiring with this story, and all the time I'm trying to bring to the conferences, not only one conferences, to know more and more people who we can help, and to listen that the real stories, not just theories, because academicians, most of the academicians, I can't speak for each from their perspectives, they are bringing theory, imagination, or the analyzes, but they are not going through the wars. I went the 2 times when I have been 10 years old and 14 years old. I know what is law of war, and how to be without food, without electricity, without the water. So I deeply understand. So I want to wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
And now I want to give the floor because in Lebanon, as you know, now it's connecting the doctor from the Lebanon. Well, he's a special guest as well. He was fighting and helping a lot of children now in Lebanon, and Andrew know Lama, and this doctor he was fighting for human rights and the children's protection when the Hamas and Israel war started in Lebanon. Now I want to introduce him. Dr. Sharaf Al-Din Ghassan Al-Zarif, please want to greet you. He's a doctor, humanitarian and community involvement. He's actively participating in several local and international organizations focusing on environmental health and human rights, and supportive in initiative in supporting children with special needs and learning difficulties, human rights and health. Please, Sharaf Al-Din Ghassan, please, stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me in this meeting. So since we are talking about peace in the new global era, it's a must to talk about human rights and health. So for universal principle to the protection of the children, especially with the special needs, health is a fundamental human right, essential for dignity, equality, and social justice. Every individual, regardless of age, gender, or social status, has the right to access health care without discrimination. Ensuring universal health coverage is a cornerstone of human rights and for building inclusive, peaceful situation. However, access to the healthcare is not equal for everyone. Vulnerable population, including children with special needs, face unique medical, social, and physiological challenges. These children often require specialized care, early interventions, rehabilitation, inclusive education, and emotional support to live with dignity and participate fully in society. International law provides strong protection for children with disabilities. The United
Yeah, be patient because in Lebanon they have electricity issues. And Andrew know about that. All the times they are just have this.
Yeah, I can complete.
We just yes, you can continue, and we are really excited that to listen that exactly his story about how he was helping the children with you.
Yeah, I can complete because I have the paper for him. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, CRC, grants every child the right to the highest attainable standard of health, and the Convention on the rights of persons with disabilities, CRPC, obligates the states to ensure inclusive healthcare and social services. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, reinforces equality and non-discrimination principles directly linked to the healthcare access. By moving from the universal principles of health and the human rights to the specific needs of children with special needs, we affirm that true human rights protection is measured by how we care for the most vulnerable. Upholding their rights is both a legal and moral duty, and the foundation for the social justice, inclusion, and sustainable peace. That's what he was said, and apologize for the internet interruption.
It's okay. It's okay. It was an amazing
situation here and
answer. You told me that you working together during this invasion. Yes, you were working together during this invasion, and we are really grateful. This session exactly about true stories. Ahmad's story from Afghanistan. The Mandar shared his experience in real working with the gun non-violence ambassador program in California. And you are sharing his your real story. We communicated, I think, all night with Andrew, trying to help you to rescue or just play, just I don't know, help you somehow to buy tickets. But she stayed. Andrew, you remember? He says, "I will stay," and she was working under the bombing. I was calling sometimes, she was not answering. I was thinking, my God, please, please. I was calling God, Allah, how he can call, it doesn't matter. I say, please help her to be safe, because imagine, and we worried too much. And you must say, who is Lama for you, right? Okay, this is just a member or ambassador or your friend, but who is sometimes we leave our neighbors, we sell our children. So we are not like that. We sometimes, by looking at these harsh stories about the cold relationships and the attitude of some individuals, we can't put all people in one box. Someone is really caring about, doesn't matter your friend or your first time I see you, but this is why we need to share and share the peace, kindness. This is free. You can buy it. It's coming within human, I think. It's coming within us. Or you better to do, if you can't do kindness, this is my moral, better to don't do nothing. And as I always like to say, where's the will? As Andrew know how to file will, there is a way. So where's the will? And I want to say, Lama, thank you. And thank you, the doctor. You are the best man. You saved a lot of childs, and you have been without sleep in Lebanon, that time where the bombing without, we saw terrorists, we saw a lot of people with a gun, but she's a strong woman, and we're really proud of her as well. And by the way, from YouTube, we have a question. Ahmad, can you please, yes. Can you ask Mr. Ahmed, how can Islamic scholars use historical contextualization to support Islamic family law reforms that establish and enforce appropriate minimum marriage ages? How to translate it more simple way? You understood?
No, if you can make it simple.
Andrew, help me. Andrew, help me to translate from English to English more simply. If there is possibilities for some scholars, Islamic scholars who say organizations in Afghanistan or Pakistan, where is this broken Islamic law working? Because for me it's broken, not correct. So how this organization can support Islamic families like yours to reform and force minimum age of marriage? Now we understood?
Yeah.
Okay, I tried my best.
Yeah, I understood. Actually, families, the most of families in Afghanistan, in my country, are uneducated, and they go to madrasa. They go to somewhere that is religious lessons, not they go to schools. So that's why it is easy for the scholars. It's easy for the scholars that can convince families, who are uneducated to marry the children of their children at the age of 9, 8 or 13 or above. But for my families, it is minority. We don't obey that, and they cannot convince us. They cannot convince, and we criticize even the manner from the past, from 1400 years ago. From 1400 years ago, we criticize, and we are minority, but we don't accept. Even they cannot, the scholars, Islamic scholars, cannot convince us that, for example, my daughter is 8-year-old, and Mr. Brown saw the picture that is very very small. It looks very small, 8-year-old, and nobody can convince me, no scholars can convince me that I can force my daughter to marry at 9-year-old. 9-year-old, she is very small, so nobody can convince. But in uneducated society, uneducated people convinced by Islamic scholars to marry their children at the age of 8, 9 or above or below. Yeah.
So I will just they change it a bit, the question. So coming back to the history, because now the Taliban came from this time, but before that in Afghanistan, as I remember, it was quite good in some decades, as I remember from the history. That time, if we will use the historical context, can Islamic scholars somehow use this good historical context to support, to reform, to make some reform? How do you think?
No.
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 This is correct and direct answer. No.
Yeah.
Okay. So we believe that maybe in a future generation or not. I'm just telling it. This is a bit not correct. We need to help as you represent and you translated. Actually, you declared some of the amount, how much people died in Afghanistan. This is awful. This is just, I'm remembering these numbers. For somebody, it's just a numbers. But for some people, this is catastrophe. This is, I don't know, is something which is impossible to listen.
You are right, and I remember, and I read history, that in 1888, 63% of Hazara population have been killed because of religion. The Amir, King Abdurrahman, declared that they are infidel. Hazara are infidel. So the people came out of their houses and assault Hazara people, and 63%. It is history, and it is documented in international archives. So have been killed, tortured. The women and there are a lot of stories that women, because of not capturing by the troops, they went up, the group by group, they went up to mountain and threw themselves down to kill themselves, to not taken by the troops.
Oh my gosh.
That's the fact.
This is a fact, and not, I think, only in Afghanistan. A lot of countries we are facing, and from history, I will say just about the Armenian genocide. A lot of Armenians families, they killed them family in order to the Turkish, you know, what the Turkish society did. They put on the cross, they cut the piece by piece. So in order to don't face it, that they will drinking or poison or kill themselves somehow. It's happened in each of the conflicts and each of the countries where we are facing this really something terroristic. Ahmad, we need to be strong and we need to believe. I believe in a good people. I know that only good people can share, can make changes in our lives. Only good people. We can believe and we follow our beliefs of God. Somebody is atheist, he doesn't believe any God. So I don't have something, the feelings that some spirit up or somebody is helping, but somebody have a faith. I have a faith that I believe in the good people. I believe that we will conquer, and anything in this life we can, like here together, round table, we understand each other because we feel each other, and you are not alone. Believe me, you're not alone. So like you, a lot of people around the globe. So I do believe some organization, somebody will see you and will support you more, and your story is really inspiring. And this conference have to given such a panelist like you in order to be heard globally. I want to thank, I want to say the question, one question I have to Mandar. Before we will start, I will just transfer the two Spanish speakers. Your job is explainer. What are you doing now? How do you think? What is your purpose? You did in California because they have a high, you know, the really by evaluation you say that they have a the murder high level, the murder, and they are doing, but not only in the California. It's worldwide, happening everywhere now. What is your next? What kind of project you are thinking to do to inspire other conflict places? I remember you told me and you shared it with me that you did something in Cyprus, in Nicosia. And yes, and I wanted to share this, but next time I think we will have it another separate webinar, maybe about this story, in order to inspire Cyprus society, maybe bring them to the table and having something like that. We will speak separate about this. But what about what you heard, Ahmad? You heard the Lebanon story in the war. What's your feedback for today's panel session? You are muted.
Before I answer that question, I think I want to just share something that I feel the world is at a crossroads, and the crossroads is because we don't know how to agree to disagree, and you know, religion becomes a great way to disagree. And the way to visualize this and to think about a new solution is to look at religion and spirituality just like a banana and a banana peel. So religion is the banana peel, okay? And it should help you to take you inside, which is the banana. And that is where human values are: love, compassion, mutual respect, service. But today, sadly, we are holding on to the peel and we are saying my way to the banana is the only way. And the banana, the human values, is on the floor. So we need to help people taste the banana. That requires us to go within, not just practices. I pray like this, you pray like this. That's just practices. So that is where we need to evolve as a human race. Because somebody wrote something and somebody believes in it, but there is no experience. So we need to learn how to experience God, divinity, love. And once you experience it, you need to share it, because that is what is missing. People are in pain. People are in trauma. And that is why they are easily manipulated. That's what's happening in social media also. You look at one side of the media, you don't look at the other side of the story. You are manipulated. The real story is somewhere in between. And both media, somebody is paying for the story. So I think the answer to your question is, having done my work in Los Angeles, uh, everything, becomes a trend when you do something in Los Angeles. So I got NBC News, like nighttime news. And then this work spread in many cities like Washington, D.C., Chicago, Rochester, Minneapolis. And we do these trainings online, right? So now the focus is how many workshops Manda are going to teach. I need to find the Ahmads and the Andrews and the, what is her name? The divine lady that showed up? Lama. And the Christines. Because if you feel inspired by this work, you can do it as well. That is my focus. My focus is to find the point of light that is looking for peace, love, compassion, and we just light each other and continue the spreading of light. There's no point arguing about darkness. You can't measure darkness, but you can measure light. A candle light, tea light, tube light, sunlight. That should be the quest of every peace builder, is how can I be more loving, for which I need to heal myself. And it's work in progress, right? I would love to show you one exercise, a breathing exercise that we can all do, maybe 2 minutes, and experience what happens. Would you like to do that?
Let's do that. So I think enough people you have here. I said to trainees.
Yeah, and you saw LA Crips and Bloods do it, so anybody can do it. So exercise is very simple. You put your hand like this. You breathe in and you throw your hand up. You breathe in and you throw your hand up and the fist opens.
Okay. It's like, I remember in the Soviet Union have some kind of gymnastic. We did something like that. Oh, yes, I remember. So now I understand.
So let's do this. You are all on mute, so you can be on mute. Just make sure your elbow doesn't hurt when it comes down. So don't hurt yourself if there is a furniture near you. Just be free. And let's just do a few rounds with eyes open just to get the hang of it. I will say in, you breathe in through your nose, fist open, hand goes up. When I say breathe out, fist closes, hand comes down, again through the nose, not through the mouth. Yeah, everything through the nose. We'll do it gently. So breathe in, out, in, out, in, out, out, in, out. So it's a little bit of exercise. Okay, it is not like garden walking. You're not, then you won't get anything. Yeah, so it's a little exercise, but just do it and see what happens in 2 minutes. Just you will experience it. Yeah. So I will do the count. You just keep your eyes closed. I will do the count. I will say in, out, in, out. After a few rounds, I will say relax your hand. So put your palm like this on your laps. Then I will say second round, in, out, relax your hand. And then third round. Don't do it now. I will guide you. I'm just telling you there are 3 rounds that will build the momentum. Yeah. So let's close our eyes. Even my eyes are closed. Normal breath in. Fill up your lungs, fill up your stomach. Nobody is watching the belly size. And breathe out. And together, using our nose, we will begin. Breathe in, out, in, out, in, 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 and relax your hands. Keep your eyes closed. Palms on your laps, facing upward. And observe your breath. Take your attention on the breath.
I will just interrupt you, my dear. I will sleep. I will fall asleep now after this exercise, but I need to be in full energy because now came Latin American countries. So I need to be full energy to bring them to the table.
No problem. I appreciate your time. I appreciate it. This actually is not putting you to sleep. This will energize you. But anyway, no
But
problem.
now
Take
what
over.
I did it, I too relaxed. It really affects me. That my nerves and after the Ahmad story, I'm a sensitive person, and even though I'm showing that I'm strong, I am a mother, and I know what it is to carry the responsibility for your children, for your family, as a woman, and the women leader as well. So it's not easy to do everything in one, but I'm trying my best. I want to thank each of you for these panelists. If you want to stay and join our Latin American friends, we need to have some break. We have a 10 minutes. You can discuss with each other. If you have a questions, you can ask. We have just 9 minutes. And after we are going for break, and we will meet the second panelist. Any questions, please? We will answer. Is from YouTube. I heard they are so inspiring, Ahmad, with your story. They have a lot of questions, but I can't say all. So all questions to answer. I'll ask you all questions. But they really want to know what they can do to bring the marriage age in a normal stage or in a legal stage in Afghanistan. They want to somehow help, or the ring somewhere, I don't know. If I knew where to ring, I will share with them this the contact. So I want to know too where to ring, and I will try to investigate with this. This is not just a people. This is our organization with who touched, really, you touched their heart, and they want to somehow help you, or somehow help the women in Afghanistan. The age is important. We need to protect their childhood. They can't become 6 years old child, become a woman, married women, or 8 years old girl, become a woman, married women. You understand our point. So we need to give them a childhood, to play with balloons, to run, to play with the butterflies, to see sun, to say mommy, daddy, to hug them, to be more with the parents, not become a married woman in 8 years, 7 years old.
Sometimes when I watch my daughters in the park, in the playground, I cry in the corner because of my niece, my nephew they are in Afghanistan. I am happy because of my girls, but I am unhappy because 11 of my siblings are in Afghanistan, and they would be treated like their children treated like they marry at 8-year-old and 9-year-old. At 8-year-old, even I cannot imagine. I saw the videos, I saw the people. I don't go far away. I go in my family. I see my daughter. My daughter is 8-year-old.
Oh my
She
God.
is very small to marry. She doesn't know about marriage. So the way that we can prevent and we can increase the age, the intervention of United Nations, international organizations, awareness. Even if the regime doesn't change, it doesn't matter. Awareness among the people, among the uneducated people, through international NGOs, it can prevent from child marriage. Changing regime is one way, one method, but alternative ways are there. Like international NGO can raise awareness among people. So, like for myself, I don't accept child marriage. So because I read books and I travel to many countries, so that's why I don't accept, because of awareness. Afghanistan society also can, other families also will not accept if they know they're right, if they know that they destroy the child, their children life, they destroy the marriage, destroy. So that's why the awareness is the only way for now. The awareness from international NGOs are the only way that now can help the children of the children and the girls of Afghanistan.
I do think, you know what, there can be some misunderstanding for the new governments, and maybe society is not aware that 21st century, we are not the first day, or when 1,000 years ago, I understand maybe 1,000 years ago it was tradition to do like that. It was, for me, it's like a pedophiles. They are these men who getting married with a child, and this is a crime anyway. But now we can teach them. Say, good morning, hello, now is 21st century, everything changed. We have different houses, we have smart houses, we have smartphones, we have something new. So we have evolution. And we need to bring evolution in this country who is living in the past. This is what we need to do, I think. We have to educate them and say that the time is changed, and now, let's say, before it was 1 hour ago, it was 5 o'clock, but now 5:30. So time is running.
Yeah, educating them is the only way that we have now. But schools are closed. They don't let children to come to the seminar, to the conference. They don't let.
Unfortunately, but we will try. We will pray. We will try to do our best, and with other organizations united, because impossible to do it alone. I want to thank all of you now, and we have a 30 minutes break, and I will welcome each of you after 30 minutes to our next panelist. And most of them, they will be Spanish speakers, so you can attend YouTube channel and just listen translation in English. Thank you, and thank you, Ahmad. Thank you, Andrew. for sharing with him so interesting story. You know, sometimes so many people can give you advice, but the best advice, what you can hear, is your heart can give you. I think the best advisor can be your mother, father, with not trauma, because some mother, they are living in the past as well. But I'm talking about these people who are closest to you, and firstly you have to listen to your heart. What is good for you, it will be best for you. And sometimes in this kind of person like Andrew and Jake, the God brings like angels to help you, because if you will ask, you will get help always, because people sometimes afraid to ask. They think, oh, it's shame or all to do. No, if you're asking a help, you will always find people who can help you. Thank you for being today to our conference panel, and see you, all of you, next panel in half an hour.